and also to check for the retirement. So, we have voucher number 21000762. An amount of $10,000 says being disbursement as cash allocation for onward allocation as transport refund to media houses that participated in the mayor's visit to the victims affected by the windstorm disaster. It reads, on behalf of the mayor of Banjul, there's a letter from you.
Yes.
Addressed to the Director of Finance via the CEO's office. I'd like to request for $10,000 as transport refund for the media houses that joined the mayor, councillors, NDMA coordinator, and staff of B.C.C to visit the victims that were affected by a windstorm disaster that occurred in Banjul and beyond. The visit was to get first-hand information from the victims and come up with possible support. Please help and act accordingly. And $10,000 was paid to you.
Yes.
Yes. Did they receive the amount?
Of course, they received the amount, and a sundry was provided for them to, because that is how I work. When I'm giving money to retire back, I normally request for what we call a sundry voucher from the accounts department, and all the medias that we are present by this particular activity, we are able to sign by their name, the media that they represent, and also the amount that they receive.
We'll also wait for that. We have voucher number 0608, says disbursement as cash impress for the payment of logistics for the public announcement of the upcoming COVID-19 test at the Banjul City Council on Thursday, 13th of August 2020. You wrote requesting for impress for the payment of logistics for the public announcement activity in the city of Banjul. Please kindly approve the disbursement of 3,500 cash impressed to take care of the following expenses during the public announcement activity to inform the residents of Banjul about the upcoming COVID-19 test at the City Council, scheduled on Thursday, 13th of August 2020 by 11 a.m. under the Know Your COVID-19 Status Initiative. The logistics will be as fuel for the mobility vehicle, hiring of PA system, and refreshment. Do you also have the retirement for this?
All of them.
All right.
I cannot remember.
We'll give you copies.
Yeah.
0690, it's been disbursement as cash impress for the payment of transport refund for the media houses for the coverage of the update on Operation 100 Face Mask initiative by the Lord Mayoress, $7,500. It reads from you, please kindly improve the disbursement of $7,500 as cash impress to take care of the following expenditure for the handing over ceremony of food aid items from Honorable Usainu Dabo to the Banjul City Council on behalf of the people of Banjul, and Mayor Rahim Malik Low to give an update about the Operation 100 Face Mask initiative for the people of Banjul and by extension the Gambia. Transport refund for the media houses for coverage. What was this about?
This was during the COVID-19. During the COVID-19, we embarked on several initiatives, and this was one of it. That is to, we received some food items from the former Vice President, Lawyer Usainu Dabo, in a form of a presentation. It was a form of a little ceremony that was conducted, whereby media houses were invited to cover that event. And the mayor also seized the opportunity to also declare the initiative to at least work towards mobilizing at least 100,000 face masks in terms of our efforts to suppress the spread of COVID-19 by then.
Does the mayor have her own agenda?
I think there's an opinion, and I cannot ascertain.
No, it's a question. It's a valid question because for the most part, I am asking questions based on evidence.
Yes.
And for the most part, what I see is instructions given by the mayors.
Yes.
For monies to be paid to individuals. based on maybe in her own judgment, humanitarian grounds, here and there, back and forth. And that's not how institutions should work. You will agree with me. You work with the National Assembly, Honorable Bah.
Yeah.
You know, now probably you know in this position you can confirm and reaffirm what I am saying, that institutions are not supposed to work in that way.
But lead counsel, I think these were not personal initiative. If you read the voucher, these are initiative for the city of Banjul. And as a city council, it was incumbent upon the city council to provide and also to support the people of Banjul,
Yes.
especially when it comes to those trying times.
No doubt.
Yes.
I have no doubt. Go ahead.
Like you said, if it is something to do with the mayor, I wasn't saying it that way.
Yes.
Because I was seeing it as a community initiative.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, not a community initiative. A community initiative would be something that the community want to embark on. That's different. The mayors or any mayor or any chairperson may have an initiative to do something which may be positive. The mere fact that it's done in goodwill or good intention does not make it right. Remember, there are priorities in with respect to expenditure. The funds of councils are meager.
Yeah.
That's not the case. So there's a process to commit funds, public funds, in relation to any exercise, be it the area council, ministerial offices, any office. Is that not the case?
I will agree with you
Yes.
on that, but looking at this particular voucher that you're talking about,
Right.
what was the payment meant for?
100 or is it 100 or 100,000?
I mean
Face mask,
the payment of that particular voucher, what was it meant for?
7,000. Let me just show it to you.
Yeah, 7,500 for who?
Let me just give it to you. You will be probably in a better position to
Sure.
read the voucher and advise us.
Okay. Being payment as cash impress. Yeah, this for transport refund for media houses that covered this particular event. Yeah, it has nothing to do with let's say personal expenditure, because these were refunds that we are giving to media houses to facilitate their transport.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the reason of this particular thing.
Okay.
So I don't understand also what what connects it with the agenda of the mayor, because for me personally,
Who sanctioned this?
the mayor requested for it.
That's my point.
Yes.
That's my point. The mayor requested for it.
Okay.
That's my point. My point is not whether I am not here to focus on
I
the
understand.
goodwill part of any initiative.
No, I understand.
Yes, I'm
I
only focused
understand.
on the procedure.
Yes, I really understand.
Yes, if the procedure is wrong, I raise questions regarding the procedure. The goodwill, that's not for me to decide.
Okay.
And God knows, maybe, to be honest, maybe there is a goodwill for people in actions they take.
So are you affirming to me that the transport refund for the media houses was not in line?
You tell me the process that was followed, because number one, we don't see even a retirement. We're not even sure whether as yet, because you'll be given time, we're not sure whether in fact the media houses did get this. We're not sure whether in fact, as that's not for you to answer, the CEO will come. We're not even sure whether this is in fact in line with the budget.
Okay.
These things,
I agree.
Honorable Bah,
No, I agree.
you're one person that I cannot lecture about this.
Not to be honest.
Exactly.
The council, I agree.
Exactly.
What you are saying is
Yes.
completely true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, is
Thank you very much
correct.
for that.
You are in line.
Right. I know I struggle with other witnesses. You, I know I will not struggle with because of your position and your experience in now. Yeah. And voucher number 0303 is the disbursement as cash impressed for the facilitation of logistics by the Banjul COVID-19 sensitization team to conduct a survey in Banjul.
Yes.
It reads, please kindly approve the disbursement of funds as cash impressed to take care of expenses for Banjul COVID-19 sensitization team. The team will be conducting a survey to know the statistics for the total household in Banjul. This is intended to support the residents of Banjul with essential food items to enable them stay at home in order to suppress the spread of COVID-19 in the greater Banjul area. The amount is $74,150. Attached is a 3-day survey team budget. You can please go to the voucher.
Are we together? Yes. Okay. This also correct. I can remember receiving this amount also.
Do you need time for the retirement as well?
For the retirement, like I said, lead counsel.
Yes.
All these documents that you are showing me.
Yes.
I retired everything. So it is to my surprise that I am not seeing any retirement on all these documents, to be honest.
Right. We will give you time.
Yeah, because all these documents attached were retirements.
We will give you time. I think if there is retirement, it should be with council. Do you agree?
I agree. It should be with them, especially with the accounts department, because everything was retired to them.
All right.
And I can vividly remember whenever I implement any activity based on impress, I normally go and retire back with valid or authentic documents.
Right.
Yep.
So to help you.
So I don't know why it was discharged from this attached rather from
no,
this.
Even if they discharge it from this voucher, it will not be difficult to find because there should be an impress ledger.
Okay.
You understand that? Okay. There should be an impress ledger at council, and the finance department should be able to tell you exactly the retirement if it exists.
Sure.
So again, you will be given a copy of it.
Sure.
Voucher number 0275, disbursement as cash impress for the facilitation of logistics by the Banjul COVID-19 team. The amount is $10,000. The impress was raised by you, addressed to a chief executive officer. I will give you another one. It says voucher number PV21000785. Another $10,000 for cash allocation onwards as council contribution as per attached. The impress was also raised. It is to support for the grand opening of the Chairman Mosque at Lasuaf Street in Banjul.
Mm-hmm.
We have voucher number PV21000824, $17,000. It says payment of condolence to the Pa Modou to the demise of his father as per attached. It says I write on behalf of the Lord Mayor to request for $17,000 as council's condolence package for Mr. Pa Modou, acting license manager B.C.C for the loss of his father. This sad event occurred on Sunday, 29th of August 2021. May the departed soul rest in peace. We have voucher number 21001317, $20,000. It says being disbursement as condolence packages to Hadi Mbaifal, CEO Secretary for the demise of her son on Sunday, 23rd of May 2021.
Okay.
I will not ask you whether this is in line with the budget. I will wait for the CEO and the other necessary relevant officers, the mayors perhaps, and the finance director. We have also another condolence for COVID-19 related deaths in Banjul for the month of April and May. $10,000. We have PV22000340, $8,950, 10th of August 2022. It says payment for airtime credit to convert to data, but we'll wait for that one. Please go through those vouchers. We can also list them as being part of the documents that you will need time to provide the retirement.
Lead counsel,
Yes, sir.
like you mentioned, looking at all these documents, you can see that I made the request.
Okay.
I am not saying I didn't make any request. I think the only issue is about the retirement,
Very
which I am also affirming to you that I have retired all these documents
Very well.
with receipts.
Thank you. Please put it aside. We have the voucher number I read earlier, 22000340. Payment for airtime credit to convert to data bundle. How were you purchasing airtime for the mayors?
As you can see on with the receipts attached, what I normally do is that I buy the credit, and as you can see, even when it comes to all the transaction, the level of what amount I bought,
Yes.
and how much I bought,
Yes.
and when I buy it,
Yes.
is all attached on those documents. So these are data that the mayor will normally use at home sometimes, because sometimes he'll be at home and having official meetings. For example, with UCLG and other organizations that she is part of. And also when she is also in the office sometimes, even though there was already
Wi-Fi.
a Wi-Fi in the office, but these are a mobile kind of router.
Yes.
Yeah, that she uses for her internet
Now,
and airtime.
who will instruct you to buy Wi-Fi for the airtime for the mayors?
Of course, the mayors, because it is for the mayors. So she will normally ask me to do that. So when I do that, when I buy it, then I will take the documents to accounts and request for refund.
Okay.
Yes.
So you would not know whether it is budgeted for or not?
Whether it is?
You would not know whether it is budgeted for or not?
No.
So
no.
you just act
No,
on
she will ask me to
the
buy.
instruction of the
Yes,
mayors?
yes. So when I buy, I take all the receipts to account, and accounts will confirm all the receipts, raise the voucher attached with my request, then it will be paid to me as a refund.
The issue, Mr. Bah, with all this, is that there is a procurement department. Yes. And I would not see the relation this has, the correlation it has with your job as a public relations officer to seemingly working directly for the mayor in relation to most of the things that are done, because if the mayor is to purchase anything, I don't think it is a job of the public relations officer to be doing that for the mayors. You understand that?
I agree with you.
Yeah, there's a structure
course.
in council or in our institutions that it should follow.
Of course.
My question is, was this known to you at the time?
No, this was not even something that I was, to be honest, thinking about. For me, I believe I was just working under her directives to do what will help her to do the work comfortably, especially when it comes to issues surrounding communication. That was the only reason, but this wasn't in my mind, to be honest.
But now you know it's wrong.
Of course, I understand when you mention it, yeah.
We have the voucher number 2000794. Again, cost of airtime credit to convert to data. The amount is $12,350. Purchased. Well, do you use your own funds?
Yes, I use my own funds to do this.
Why is that?
Yes, this was just normal to me as far as the work is concerned, because I was doing it understanding that if I purchase it, I'll be refunded by the council.
My question is, why would the mayors not use her own funds?
I really can't tell, to be honest.
Did you ask yourself that question?
To be honest, I never asked myself that question.
Is there a reason why it didn't occur to your mind?
I really don't know why. I really don't know why.
Now I'm asking this question, would it be something that you would have thought twice if you're ever in that position again, Because, to be honest, the mayoress was paid more than you. It's well remunerated.
That's 100%.
Exactly.
To be honest.
So why would the mayor or you allow yourself to be using your own funds?
Yeah.
Which I don't think,
But
unless you have other sources of income,
yeah,
I don't think as a public relations officer, it will be wise to be paying money for the benefit of the mayor, because it's a direct benefit to the mayor.
Lead counsel, of course, yes, I was working at the council as the PRO, but I also had my own personal business.
And I can guarantee you,
Yes.
it's nowhere close to what the mayoress was making.
But you cannot also determine how much I was making
I
in
can
my
only
own
focus
personal
on
business.
the official earnings. Unless you
Not to be-
disclose the rest,
to be
I can only
honest.
focus on the official earnings.
Not to be honest,
Yes.
to be honest, and because my personal business has nothing to do with my official, because that is why me personally, I have what is called my private life and my public life.
Everybody does.
So you come to realize that when it comes to the issue of why I was doing it, like I said, I was just doing it to make sure that the work was done smoothly, to be honest. Understanding that at the end of the day, I'll be refunded based on the receipt that I provided.
The mayor would have been refunded as well. The mayor would have been refunded as well.
Maybe she can be asked that question, but for me, this was what I thought, yeah, to be honest.
Because I am thinking, if you buy credit for the mayoress from your own pocket, why should you be refunded?
Yes, because it is official. It is
Official if it is budgeted for.
What also triggered this is because I can remember by then the Director of Finance, who is by the name Mr. Modou Kamara,
Right.
will tell me that we cannot just buy without having, we cannot raise the request
Yes.
without having the, how to call it, without having the receipts.
Yes.
I can remember having those conversations with Modou Kamara.
Says we can't buy without?
We can raise the request and do the payment without having the receipts.
No, but that would be wrong advice or instruction, because in fact, you're not expected to have a receipt before payments are authorized. First, you have, that's how procurement works. You have to follow the steps. Payment is always last.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
I understand.
So
I
for him to
understand.
say that, that
Yeah.
will really be a misinformation or a misguidance.
Yes, that's how I saw it at the end of the day.
If you walk to
Yeah.
any shop, let's assume you walk to in MP Trading, you want to purchase something, do they give you a receipt first before you pay?
No, you have to pay first before you've been issued a receipt.
That's it.
Yeah,
You have to do the
honest.
procurement first.
Yeah.
And then payment comes after, at
Yeah.
the latter end, latter stage.
But this was a different situation.
The issue is, in your appointment letter, it reads that the third paragraph, the fourth paragraph, you are subject to the council general orders, financial instructions,
Yes,
and any order that council may wish to make.
yes,
So they may say that they had notified you in your appointment that you are to familiarize yourself with the working tools of council. And so the financial manual of local government area council, you have ever had access to that?
I believe so, but not to, I didn't read it completely, but I sometimes read it.
Because the argument would be maybe
Yeah.
that if it is so clear in your appointment letter that you are to familiarize yourself with these legal documents
Of
for
course.
council, which if you had done that, you would have seen the process for authorizing expenditure. And even impress, you're talking about, for example, it will tell you the process that should follow. Then one may want to believe that it is perhaps partly your fault for not familiarizing yourself with what the law is.
I will agree with you partly on that.
Come again, sir?
I said I will agree with you partly on that.
Voucher number 21001051. It reads, being disbursement as consultancy fee on the provision of public relations services to Banjul Council for the month of August 2021. It reads your request. I write on behalf of the mayor to request for $5,000 as council's condolence package for Mr. Falu Cisse.
Yeah.
Assistant Chief Driver for the loss of his mother. The sad event occurred on Friday, 3rd of September 2021.
Sure.
But the detail of the payment, I don't understand it. It reads disbursement as consultancy fee on the provision of public relation services to Banjul City Council. What can you help us with in relation to the request and the voucher detail?
These are talking about two different things, and
Yes.
I cannot even remember the issue of consultancy. Me involved in such a situation now.
So the IFMIS voucher is what reads the issue of consultancy, $5,000. Then you have the manual voucher, which reads, which voucher number is 1198 as well, being disbursement as council's condolence package to follow Assistant Falu Cisse, Assistant Chief Driver. So the two vouchers have two different.
Yeah, maybe that was
narratives.
the mistake of the.
This was also retired.
When it comes to condolences, we don't normally get retirement as far as condolences are concerned.
Okay.
Yes.
But if you don't retire, how will you have proof of receipt of funds?
Yes, that is another thing. But normally, when it comes to situations like this, I, as the PRO, I don't normally go alone to attend the funerals. I go with the team, especially the department involved. Yeah.
Let me read to you what the law says on imprest on the financial manual, page 52. It says imprest. If it is necessary for any officer of the council to have money at his or her disposal for disbursement on public service, for which the usual pre-authorization procedures cannot apply, such officer may be given an imprest. All imprest must be authorized by the chief executive officer, who will prescribe the terms and conditions under which imprest may be approved.
Sure.
Now the procedure 702 reads, sub 1, all requests for imprest should be made on an application for an imprest and approved by the CEO. 2, the council should maintain an imprest ledger in which will be recorded all imprest approved by the CEO. A subsidiary imprest ledger will be opened in the name of each imprest holder, detailing the imprest paid out, reimbursement, and retirements when they occur. 3, when an imprest is approved, a payment voucher will be raised by finance staff in the name of the imprest holder for the approved amount. The payment is posted to the cash book and imprest ledger, while the rest of payments process is followed. Number 4, or sub 4, officers entrusted with imprest will be held responsible for all money advanced to them until such a time it has been properly accounted for. 5, all imprest must be retired or repaid on or before the last day specified by the chief executive when authorizing the imprest. 6, when the imprest is being retired or reimbursed, relevant receipts and invoices must be submitted to the senior accounts clerk, who will then prepare a payment voucher for the total amount expended. 7, a cash refund paid by the imprest holder at retirement should be receipted. The receipt is used to debit the cash book and credit the imprest ledger. Now 8, the transactions in the payment voucher will be classified by the senior accounts clerk for posting into the imprest ledger. 9, no imprest will be issued to an employee in whose name a previous imprest is still outstanding. For instance, in your case, you have been given imprest once,
Yes.
and you did not, if at all, you did not retire. You have already told us in the case of condolences, you don't retire, for instance, because you go with people, and that was the practice.
Yes.
The law is saying that person should not be given another imprest. You understand that?
I understand.
10, all imprest must be retired. There is no exception to this. Must be retired on or before the last day of the financial year, or on such earlier date as may be specified by the Chief Executive Officer. 11, imprest should be repaid when no longer required or reduced when found to be excessive. I had this discussion earlier that, in fact, to know exactly how much you are spending and to be given that exact amount may defeat the purpose of why an imprest. So you may classify something as an imprest.
Yeah.
But if you know exactly how much you are going to expend, how much you're going to spend on something, you want to pay 10 people transport refund, you know exactly it will cost you $2,000. That is not an imprest, because that would defeat the purpose. It may be an imprest, but the intention would have been you have money in your hand for an emergency work that is done, for which you cannot follow the normal process of authorization of expenditure. And when you are done, if you have $1 that is outstanding, or a butut that is outstanding, you come back and say, well, this is what I've done. I've paid X, Y, and Z. This is the evidence. This is the receipt. And therefore, here you have the change, if any.
Yeah.
The dollar is outstanding.
Yes.
So that doesn't appear to be done in all the cases. You know why I say all the cases? Even for the ones that you say you have retired, even if you have retirement, but even the process of approving imprest is not followed.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Can I come in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for enlightening me on that issue. And to be honest, like you said at the latter part, I can even remember there was a time funds were given to me, council funds, to implement activities for council. And after expenditure, I was having some amount of money left. I remember going to the cashier and paid those amounts, and receipts were given to me. And it wasn't once or twice. I can remember at least 3 times in such a situation. But like you said, to be honest, that is the truth. And to be honest also, that I really don't understand all these things by then, but now I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was why I had a problem in the beginning with respect to payments made in your name.
No, I understand very well.
Voucher number 2100915, you have been disbursement as cash imprest for an official trip to North Bank region.
Yes.
And Central River region from 12 to the 16th November 2021. The amount that was paid to you is $25,000. It was check payment. It reads, request for imprest on behalf of the Mayor of Banjul. I write to request for $25,000 as cash imprest for the Mayor's tour to North Bank region and Central River region, scheduled for 12 to the 16th of November 2021. This initiative is part of Rafela,
Yes.
the Gambia National Chapter's activity to meet the rural women and youth, sensitize them about the importance of peace and peaceful coexistence. Now, I believe the CEO or whosoever approved this says, please attach invitation for proper documentation and sufficiency. Let me give you this.
Thank you. Can I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Lead counsel?
Yes, sir.
In terms of the note by the, is it acting director? I'm not very sure. This was not brought to my notice, because after handing over the request, I only wait for the payment.
You only?
I will only wait for the payment to be done.
I didn't get that part, please.
I said, when I make the request,
Yes.
and it is approved by the CEO and also the Director of Finance, I only wait for the payment. So I think this was from the audit, because normally audit will write with red pen, and this was not brought to my attention.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So,
And in case the issue of the request also, it was meant to facilitate the purchasing of fuel during fuel.
but
That
it's not
is,
stated there, is it?
I think it was stated here, because the 25,000 is for the fuel. As impressed, yeah. I can remember it was used for fuel,
Yes.
because there was another request. It was two requests.
Yes.
The other request was for the night allowances paid to the people that accompanied the mayor, including
Yes.
myself, and this was only for the fuel during the course of the activity.
So who purchased the fuel?
I bought the fuel, and also receipts were attached from the fuel stations.
Right.
After buying the fuel, they gave us the receipts, and we attached all the receipts to this particular voucher.
So you will also need time
Yes.
to trace the retirement?
And lead counsel, I don't know, but if I am to also request all this retirement from the council, how do I go about it? Because I must have copies of
Yes.
all the vouchers,
Yeah.
and give it to them to request for the retirement.
At the end of the
Yes, if,
examination,
yes.
we'll make an application to the chairperson.
All right,
If it is granted, you may have an order
it's not,
directing council to provide you
Sure.
with retirement
Sure.
if there is.
yes.
And also directing the registrar to give you copies of the
Thank you.
vouchers. Now, Rafaela, what is Rafaela?
Okay. Rafaela is a network of locally elected women in Africa.
Yes. And is that a council activity?
It is part of council activity, because I can remember there was a time they have an MOU with council.
An MOU?
Yes.
Do you have a copy of that MOU and what
have,
it says?
I have the hard copy, but it is not signed, because I printed it from the soft copy version.
So we
of
will
it.
need a signed copy.
For that, I believe the CEO can be the
And does the
intuition.
MOU require that council will be funding part of their activity?
Yes, yes.
Did it
Yes.
specify which activities and how the funding would be?
It wasn't specified.
Are you familiar with the budget to know exactly what request you are making in relation to Rafaela?
With the budget, when it comes to Rafaela, I think they only cater it under the women empowerment budget. Yes.
And who asked you to raise this request?
Of course, through the office of the mayor, as stated on the request.
The office of the mayor, would that be the mayor herself?
Of course, the mayor is the head of the office, because the PA, neither the secretary will instruct me as the PRO to make any request.
So it's the mayor who will
Of
instruct
course, the mayor will instruct me. Do you need this MOU?
It's not signed, so
okay, all right.
probably if you have access to the signed one, the signed
Okay.
copy.
Okay.
We have voucher number 22000766. The amount is $10,000. It says condolence package for the demise of Babakar Seka, laborer. We will need the retirement for that.
Okay.
We have voucher number PV 22000773. Cash allocation for the town hall meeting on the 12th of February 2020. The amount is $37,750. It reads, request for impress. I write to request for $29,500 as impress to take care of the logistics for the town hall meeting organized by the office of the mayor. The Banjul Council, in its drive to hold regular consultation and updates with residents of the city, intends to hold a town hall meeting with the people of Banjul South constituency, slated on Saturday, 12th of February 2022 at Dobson Street, Banjul. The items says chairs, 10 dozens, $750, tents, 4 sets, $1,000, lights, 2 sets, $2,000, transport, 2 ways, 1,500, mineral water, 25 cartons, $120, the total price is $3,000, PA system and vehicle for public broadcasting, $6,000, media house is $13,000, fuel for coordination of the activity, $4,000. To the entire amount was $37,750. Now, how did you arrive at this figure?
How did I arrive at which figure?
These figures, yes.
Yes, can you be specific on, because
How
there are
did
different
you
figures
know
there.
that a PA system will cost you $3,000 and you had for 2 days $6,000?
Yes, because I consulted with DJs.
How many?
Few DJs in Banjul, about 3 or 4 of them.
Did they send you their invoices?
No, they didn't send me any invoices.
Do you know whether you could have had a cheaper price?
I don't think so, because this is the cheapest.
There's a possibility.
Of course.
Having a cheaper price is a possibility.
Because these are things that, these are prices that varies.
Yes.
These are prices whereby you cannot just affirm that this is what it should be.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, with all the calls that I did or communications that I did, this was the cheapest amongst them. So I had to go in for the
but
cheapest.
But you could still have a cheaper price than what you have. A PA system, you can have a cheaper price. You can have it $2,500.
I cannot ascertain that, to be honest.
You know why I'm asking this? We will come to that. The lights, you have 2 sets. Well, what kind of lights?
These were the lights that we are used, because the event went out until late in the evening, so we needed street lights.
$2,000 for 2 sets.
Yeah,
is that the best you can have?
Yes.
Do you know whether you can have it cheaper than that?
This was not even something that we purchased directly. This was hired from someone who normally provide lights.
Do you know whether you can have it less than that?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
Is that a possibility? Is it a possibility?
Maybe, but no. But I'm not very sure.
The tents, 4 sets, 1,000 each. Can you have a tent less than $1,000?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
The media houses, you have 13 media houses.
Yes.
Water, $3,000 was spent. Why I ask this is because you're not an expert in procurement. And procurement is geared towards saving the most out of the little funds that are available in council. Why would you not subject this to normal procurement process?
But we also have to understand something. These were programs or activities that I organized directly from my office.
Yes.
So I was given the full responsibility to take care of the entire process. Right. I do agree with you that it would have, like I said yesterday, it would have been through a procurement process.
Yes.
Yes. And I heard you talking about 13,000 for 13 media houses.
Yes.
Each media house, I can remember, was
$1,000.
Was paid $1,000
yes.
each. And why they were paid $1,000? Because they spent almost, let's say, half of the night
yes.
in Banjul in terms of covering the event.
Right.
And it was a very late program.
This is the issue.
Yes.
See, again,
so just to make clarity on that.
Yes.
Yes.
No, this is the issue. Again, the reason for this is not to look into the intention that you have or any public officer may have in the execution of their duties. Like I said, the intention may be right, the procedure may be wrong. And if the procedure is wrong, funds may be allocated for a certain event in a wrongful manner.
I
And that will cause
agree.
financial loss.
I agree 100%.
That is the issue.
I agree
Yes.
100%.
That is why you will not see me ask a question with respect to,
Yeah.
hardly, let me say,
Yeah.
with respect to, do you even think it's worth it for in some instances?
I-
Unless it is very clear that it's a misplaced priority. So now, again, we only see a check, the request, and the voucher where payments were approved. We don't see where the money has gone to, who was paid, which media houses were paid, and the receipts for the lights, the tents, and so on and so forth.
Sure.
I will show you, so you confirm that, and then it will be part of the documents that will be given to you.
No, it's okay.
If it is approved.
I already saw it. It's fine. Don't waste time. Leave
Yes,
council.
that's fine.
I already went through
You
it.
already went through it.
Yes. I saw it.
Thank you. Voucher 22000760. $55,000.
Yes.
Condolence package to the family of the late Abdullah Sen.
Yes.
We see a request. It says, I had on behalf of the mayor to request for $55,000 as council's condolence package for the family of the late Abdullah Sen, former National Assembly member for Banjul Central constituency. And you received this money?
Yes, I received this money.
The instructions was from the mayoress?
Yes, it's from.
And what did you do when you received this money?
We took the money to the family. We went together to pay condolence to the family.
We have voucher number 21000875. Payment of cash impressed for well, I can't read the rest.
Can I help?
Yes, I will give it to you. It's $8,400. The request was raised from the Public Relations Office.
Yes. This was an exercise that we conducted in Banjul concerning the vaccination of the city dwellers. And what prompted this activity was that we realized that people were not going to hospital for their vaccination. So we were approached by polyclinic staff to see how best we can collaborate in terms of going all the way to the wards so that we can communicate to the people, that is the city dwellers, so that they can come from their homes and just a nearby station and be vaccinated. So this is what prompted this particular exercise.
All right. We'll also request that a copy be given to you.
Sure.
For
retirement.
Evidence of retirement.
Yes.
Two more questions before I hand you over to the commissioners. The first is to ask whether you were part of the steering committee of the B.C. Austin project.
As stated on my statement, yes, I was.
But
not at the beginning.
At the beginning, when did you join?
Yeah, I joined as they go.
Do you recall when?
I cannot recall when, because there was a time it was necessary for me to come in to work with the communication manager that was appointed by the project team.
Were you given a letter?
I wasn't given a letter. Yeah, I wasn't given a letter. I was informed by the CEO that it is important, understanding that the project was for Banjul, as the PRO of the Banjul City Council, to work hand in glove with the communication manager of the project, so that when it comes to information dissemination, organizing some events to make it successful, understanding also the efforts that I have been applying in terms of making, or let's say, implementing successful activities in the council, it was very important for me to be part of the steering committee and also to advise when it comes to issues surrounding the visibility aspect of it, which was very key.
Were you given an allowance?
I was paid allowance every month. If I can remember, 7,500.
Every month?
Yes.
How often was the steering committee meeting?
Almost every week or twice or once every 2 weeks.
And who was the secretary?
The secretary from the project team, there was a secretary from the project team,
yes.
And also for the Banjul City Council, the former secretary to the deputy mayor.
Yes.
Even though she is late, may her soul rest in.
Sorry about that.
I am very sorry about that.
No problem, sir.
Yeah.
We understand.
So she was the one who was also taking minutes on behalf of the council.
Okay.
And that was it.
All right. Now, were you there when the increment was made for the allowances of the steering committee?
I cannot remember that moment. I cannot remember that moment.
There is a audit report on this. On the 9th of September 2024, it says management letter for the audit of EU Banjul Ostend project for the period 1st January 2020 to 31st April 2024. On page 17, it says unauthorized and unjustified increment of steering committee allowances. Regulation 202 of the Financial Manual and Accounting Manual for Local Government 209 states, that's in relation to the accounting officer, the CEO. It went to say the findings. The documentary review and analysis revealed an increment in the steering committee allowances for the period under review from 1st February 2021 to 31st of December 2022. The members were being paid monthly allowance of $7,500, including the chairperson, and $5,000 to the internal auditor, and from 1st January 2023 to 31st of December 2024, it was increased to $15,000 for the chairperson and $12,000 for the rest of the members. A further increment was made on the 1st of March 2024 to $19,125 for the chairperson and a reduction to $10,000 for the rest of the members after rescinding the composition of the committee. However, there is no documentary evidence for the increment and approval for these allowances. A total of $3,187,525 was expended on steering committee allowances from February 2021 to December 2023. Now, the audit termed this as a suspected fraudulent malpractice. It reads, implication: this suspected fraudulent malpractice can result in financial mismanagement, leading to loss of funds, therefore reducing transparency and damaging the credibility and reputation of the project team and its management among stakeholders, including funding partners and the public. Now, the amount of money you were paid, where you said $7,500. The findings are that at some point it was increased. Did this meet you there?
I cannot remember because I provided my bank statement to the investigators,
yes.
And I cannot remember receiving nothing more than $7,500 per month. Yes, because it was directly paid to my account, so it can be easily traced.
Yes.
Yes.
And did you take part in discussions leading to the decision made in relation to how much each of you should be paid?
I cannot remember sitting in that meeting.
You can't remember being in that meeting?
No.
And anyways, we will. Loans were also given to steering committee?
Okay, talking about the issue of the loans
Yes.
that was given to steering committee members.
Yes.
I can remember this was something that was proposed to us in a steering committee meeting, or informed rather, in a steering committee meeting, that it is possible that we can at least get advance payment. It wasn't even called a loan. Advance payment of our sitting allowances for like 11 months.
Yes.
That is why it amounted to 33,000. And to be honest, when I came to the investigators in 2023, when they asked me about this amount, because if I can remember when this amount was paid,
yes.
Because if you look at my statement, I even said that I was not very sure. I will go and make inquiries. And
right.
I did. I went back, I requested for my bank statement, and I realized that this amount was paid to my account.
Yes.
And I can vividly remember the first month, January, the first deduction was done, which was $3,000.
Yes.
Yeah, because it was for a duration of at least 11 months, which will amount to $33,000.
Correct.
But I can also remember immediately after that, the steering committee was dissolved by the mayor.
Why?
I can remember there was this one morning, she called me to my office, to her office, and asked me to call all the members of the steering committee, which I did. And according to her reason during the meeting was that the steering committee was overloaded in terms of members of the steering committee. And I do agree with her on that.
Who appointed the members?
The appointment should be the CEO, because it's the responsibility of the CEO to
when
appoint.
The steering committee was dissolved, it was...
No, it was dissolved, and it was like mainstreamed to a smaller number.
Smaller number. Who was now excluded from the steering committee, do you recall?
That smaller number, I cannot remember being part of it, to be honest. I cannot remember being part of it. And that also was the latter part when I decided to go and contest. So I really don't know what transpired later.
Afterwards?
Yeah, but this is what I can say as far as this particular thing was concerned.
Was the loan
paid? The loan, to be honest, was not paid. As far as I am concerned,
yes.
I can remember only paying for the first month. After that is when I went back and looked at my statement.
Right.
I said, oops, this was an oversight on me. But the thing also is that it would have been also important for the project team or the office of the CEO to write to me and remind me that there was this loan given to you and you need to pay it back. But that wasn't done. But at the same time, I am not putting blame on anything, but it is a loan, and I admit that it was a loan, and I am ready to pay that loan, because any loan you take, you have to pay back. And I admit that I will pay back that loan, which is about $30,000.
Now, Mr. Honorable Bah, the issue of the loan, again, thank you for owning up to your mistakes and things that when you're at fault. This is the spirit of the commission as well. But even, do you think it's proper for the steering committee to even grant loans or salary advancement? Because you can't even call it a salary, because it's not a salary. Giving advances for monies that are allocated for the betterment of the Banjulians and the country at large. Because this is a project. This is not a full-time employment when someone is working. First, we have the issue of unauthorized or improper allowance allocation, even though that may not be for you to answer, because you may not have been there at the time or be in that decision making in relation to that.
Sure.
If you are not present. But do you even think it's proper for, because allowances are supposed to be based on sittings. These are not fixed salaries wherein you have a fixed time employment, and we know you'll be given, and the laws allow those things. This is different. The project should be executed. That's why you have a steering committee to be able to guide and protect the integrity of the project. Do you think that was wrong?
Lead counsel, if you just give me the permission, I think this particular question should be asked to the CEO and the Director of Finance. Because for me, if I am to tell you anything here, it's just like I am just saying what I feel like, and I don't want to say anything that I feel like. I want it to be in line with what is happening here. Because
I wouldn't have asked this
yeah.
if you are not a member of the steering committee. I'm only asking this in your capacity as a member of the steering committee.
But not a finance guy or a finance technician.
No, you don't have to be a finance guy.
Yeah, it's important.
You don't have to be a finance guy to know that this is against the project. This is against regulation. You see, when we are employed, you don't have to be a finance guy to know. For instance, you have to retire, make retirement.
Okay.
You understand? That's why your employment, it will tell you, familiarize yourself with all the working documents. The finance guy has his own TOR. But if you are part of a steering committee, you in effect are part of a body that oversees the activities, including the finances of the project.
That
you're not a finance guy, but you work for the National Assembly.
Now let me also tell you.
Yes.
Like I said before, I was in this steering committee to support and also to work together with the communication manager of the project.
Right.
In order to enhance the visibility aspect of the project.
Yes.
And not the financial aspect of the project. And when it comes to this particular issue,
right.
Getting the advice from the finance manager of the project, eventually, as somebody, let me just say as a layman within a group of people, I will automatically have to accept.
No, Mr. Honorable.
But if you ask me,
that's wrong.
Lead counsel, that's wrong? Lead counsel, yes, you can say that's wrong based on your own opinion. Like you said, we have diverse opinions when it comes to issues. Sometimes it is very unfortunate, you will see white and you will still insist that it is black. I am not that kind of person. I will be very reasonable to accept what you are saying. But I am also saying, telling you or informing you, in that particular situation, there is nothing that you can say that because I was part of the steering committee, but I made it very clear that I was there as part of this role and also to advise them, not to advise them financially, because I cannot even remember sitting anywhere where contracts were awarded as far as the project is concerned. I cannot remember sitting anywhere where decisions were made that this is how much we're going to pay for a particular contract.
I heard that.
Yeah.
It's the part that one has to be an expert in finance to be able to have a rational decision or reasonable decision based on anything to do with finance. That is the part I want us to discuss. The issue is,
lead counsel,
what is the role of this steering committee?
Lead counsel, on that part, like we do in Parliament, I withdraw. I take it back.
Yes.
You are correct.
All right. Then we move on.
Yes.
All right. So the issue is the loan now was not paid. Most people did not pay back the loan.
I am not aware, but I can speak for myself because I am the one here, so I can only speak for myself.
How would you judge what would you say with respect to the achievement of the project?
When it comes, the entire project, because looking at the different components of the project, that has to do with addressing good governance in council, the issue of health, the issue of waste management in the city of Banjul, the greening component of the city, which is the planting and also the mainstreaming of climate change, and the last but not the least, the Sustainable Development Center, which is even in my constituency, Crab Island Ward. I will say that it is like 60% achieved as far as the entire project is concerned, but I would have expected it to be at least 80 to 90%, looking at the amount of funds involved.
Exactly.
as far as this project was concerned. To be honest, this is my honest opinion.
Yes.
And also playing a part, even when it comes to, because I can remember by then, it was not very easy to secure these funds. I can tell you this for free. But securing these funds also, seeing to it that it can only achieve at least 60% of the entire thing. It is sometimes, I will give also credit to the team because they really work hard to make sure that at least 60%, according to my own observation.
Yes.
Any other person can come and say they've achieved 90%.
Less or higher, that's fine.
Any other person can also come and say they've achieved 10%.
Yes.
But according to what I saw, because the bigger aspect of it is what is being achieved as far as the Crab Island Sustainable Development Center is concerned, which was something that I was really passionate to see in the city of Banjul, in terms of seeing that our young people will be given the opportunity to get access to skills and also to get access to, especially our young people that are into arts and culture, to also have access to the environment, that is to the availability of the studio that is there, the hall, the band, so that they can make good use of it, and also the community radio. So as far as I am concerned, that is the rate the percentage rather, that I can
fair
give.
enough,
yeah, as far as the project is concerned. But
Yes.
much we are expected, because much is given, much is expected.
Exactly.
Yeah, to be
now,
honest.
what do you think was the problem?
To be honest, when I was there, I believe, because in any situation, in any given situation, it will come with challenges. I understand that very well. But when it comes to also, because what would have been the biggest problem was the issue of implementation. And the issue of implementation, it was very key as far as the entire project was concerned, especially the timeline, because the project was to be from 2019 to 2022.
Yes.
Yes, if I can still remember, because I can remember coordinating the launching of the project and also knowing all this information as the communication and
Yes.
information officer of the council. And I believe as we go along also, in terms of, I don't know what was actually happening, but I also believe that it has to do with finances, in terms of access to finances.
They had access to finance.
Of course, there are access to finances, but were the finances coming on time, and why they were not coming on time?
Because it was not managed well.
Exactly. So for me, I believe these were challenges.
Yes.
But I am nobody to judge as far as that
That's
entire
okay.
situation is concerned.
We talk about the problem
Yeah.
to find solutions for now and the future. The reason why I asked you that question is because you were part of the steering committee.
Sure.
And because you have demonstrated here that you have interest for the development of the community, and therefore we have a project, but like you said, looking at the money that was involved, Banjul would have been somewhere else by now.
To be honest,
That's the hard factor.
Yeah.
We say it, we don't say it, that's the hard factor.
Yeah.
And so if you look at the audit report, an independent finding, that everybody says audit is an independent finding, you will see that there were so many things that were highlighted, and it all is geared towards mismanagement of funds, misplaced priorities, suspected fraudulent activities, and so flouting of procurement rules. For instance, you have page 38 of the audit report I mentioned, significant project delays without justification or documentation. You talk to the next page, it tells you 42, improper award of contracts to an incompetent supplier. You understand that? So why would you have an incompetent supplier or suppliers? It's because you don't follow procurement process. Because procurement process will address all these issues.
Yes.
They look for the best and the most affordable, but for the best as well.
Yeah.
So these are all issues that are highlighted by the how to call again, the audit report. So when we interview all the suppliers, I can say 99% of all the suppliers were not procured in the lawful way.
That's very unfortunate.
So, Honorable Bah, you and I know this country.
Yeah.
And we know when you look at certain instances, you will know it's about whom you know, where you can have your extra dollars. You contract X because you know he deals in XYZ, and you'll have your extra cut.
Yeah.
Some of these foreign activities, you may not see the exact dollars for, save the ones that will come boldly and say that they demanded kickback from me, not B.C.C. witnesses. I'm just saying for some contractors.
Yeah.
But even if they don't say that, the manner in which they were procured, you do this every single day, holding institutions accountable, and you know what I'm talking about.
To be honest.
And so Banjul would have been, this project was not managed properly, and that is just the hard fact, and it's very sad. And the last issue, for now, well, let me just hand you over to the commissioners if there are questions to ask you. Are there questions for this witness? No. There seems to be no question for you. Then
I don't have any
questions. Then we will apply that the witness be discharged and the witness be given another date suitable to produce the documents, the evidence of retirement and other documents.
Okay.
Mr. Ba, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome, Ma.
And we will give you the opportunity to bring in the documents that we have requested from you. We expect, yes, please, Council, he has the file that you requested.
Yes.
Can you please take a look at it?
Yes, thank you.
The PRO file. And because, lead counsel? Yeah, when I requested this from the office of the CEO, I was directed to work with the admin director, and he also asked me to make sure that when I submit the file, let it be copied and let me return back the original file, if that can be allowed by the commission, please.
Who is that? Who gave that instruction?
The admin director asked me to just appeal to you, if I can, because this file is my file when it comes to Banjul City Council, when I was in Banjul City Council.
I'm sure he may not understand how the commission works.
Yeah.
But you will work with Mr. Kamara. He will provide a cover note, help you get a cover note for all the documents that are in the file, and we'll have it admitted, and any application to that nature would be done to see what the commissioners think about that.
Noted. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Ma, can I leave now? Okay, all right.
Mr. Ba, we will give you the file, and you will provide a cover note listing out all the documents that are there, and subsequently, when it is admitted, you will make an application and we will give you copies of what is in there. We do not want to admit the file without knowing exactly what is inside the file.
Okay.
So we will give you till next week, Thursday, to bring in some of the documents that we have asked you to bring. That is just for submission. You can liaise with the registrar of the company, the commission.
Yeah, I just want to appeal. Next week, Thursday, I will be performing oversight nationwide on the popularization of the population bill. So I will not be around.
So
I'll be around LRR, but if possible also, I don't mind coming over just to make sure that...
It's for you to submit the
yes.
documents, not to come in for hearing.
Yes,
It's
yes.
for you to submit. Then we will give you appropriate time
Okay.
to come in so that we can admit some of these documents.
Next week, Thursday.
Yes.
Inshallah. Okay.
Are you ready with the witness?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
Honorable Chair,
okay.
we can decide.
So,
that.
Honorable Ba, thank you so much for coming. And we commend you for your evidence in the sense that you have owned up to some of the, mistakes, you understand, that have been committed, and for the oversight that has happened during the course of the execution of your duty.
Yes.
Just like what the lead counsel has said, it is a fact-finding mission for all of us to learn together.
Sure.
And to enable us make a difference in the execution of our duties when we find ourselves being given public office to run.
That's true.
That is the purpose of this commission.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma.
All right, you are discharged.
Thank you.
Do we have another witness? Please
Yes,
call in
we
the
have.
witness.
Thank you.
Balo, the mic is echoing. Please, Mr. Gay, can you regulate that? We are not hearing you properly.
Very well. Very well. Nina wangane si olof ngay laka. Yes. Nina wangane julit nga. Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Silva.
Good
Nana
afternoon,
Kapechek
Ma.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
Yes, Mr. Can you state your name for the commission?
Nina saturak sa santa.
Angi tuda Barham Silva.
Barham Silla are my names.
Silva.
Silva are my names.
S-Y-L-V-A.
Jenel chingom mi si Jenel chingom mi. Nga wachikaw.
My name is Mangi tuda Barham Silva.
Barham Silva are
Silva.
my names. Silva are my names.
Yeah, so when we see Paul Silva, it means Barham Silva.
Yes.
Nena so you say Paul Silva, dafa melni lolu moy Barham Silva.
Wa.
Yes.
And so you are giving your evidence in Wolof.
Yes.
Nena legi dafa melni si olof ngay laka.
Wow.
Yes.
And so whatever you say
Nena lepp li nga xamne wax nga ko fi.
will be interpreted in English language.
Nena nañ ko wax si anglais.
Bana.
Whatever we ask,
Nena lepp li nga xamne dañ la ko laajte.
you wait for the interpretation
Nena soko déggé sa nga xaar comme wax nga ne olof ngay laka.
and then you answer.
Si kaw lolu su ma la ko waxe nga daldi tontu.
Jërëjëf.
Very well.
Mr. Silva, what is your address?
Nena fo dëkk fi
Banjul 23.
Banjul 23
Spalding.
Spalding.
What is your occupation?
Nena lan moy sa liggéey?
Businessman.
Businessman.
What kind of business?
Nena ban façon business la?
Construction.
Construction.
Yeah.
What is your educational background?
Nena sa janga bi foko door ak fat nga jeexal sa janga bi?
Wow. Primary school.
Private school waxal si mic bi please.
Primary school.
Private school,
Wow. High school.
high school,
Then dem na attend na MDI.
and I attended MDI.
Yeah.
What course did you do?
Nena ban course nga defoon MDI?
IT and networking.
IT and networking.
Yeah.
IT and networking.
Yes.
Yes.
We have a statement. We will show you the statement.
Nena-
Can you read?
Mun nga janga suñ la wone kayit.
Of course, dem na school.
Yes, of course.
Please go through the statement.
Nena seetal loolu nga seet si biir kaar yi fa nekk.
Dama ko read si kaw ndax wala ma xool ko rek.
Am I allowed to read it loudly or just to watch it?
It's just to confirm, to look at the content and confirm whether that is your statement.
Nena pour nga seet rek nga mun a confirm daa sa kaddu la wala déet.
Abi suma statement la woon.
Yes, this is my statement.
We apply to tender the statement of the witness. The statement reads Paul Silva, but the witness says his name is Barham Silva,
Yes.
to be admitted into evidence and marked as an exhibit.
The statement made by Mr. Silva dated the 23rd of December 2024 is hereby admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/BS/001.
As the Commission places. The Silva, you have a contract with B.C.C.
Nena danga one contract at B.C.C.
wherein you were paid an amount of $662,156.
Finga hamne feñna la halis bu dem be $662,156. $156.
What was that for?
Nena lolu pour la won.
waaw lii 2019 la woon pour liggéeyal leen woon ñaari toilet ak yoon pour disable si.
Yes, this was in 2019. For me to
pour liggéeyal leen ñaari toilet ak
to make them 2 toilets
waaw ak yoon pour disable si.
and a way for the disabled.
waaw ak beneen toilet yi nga xam ne ñu ngi fa bagage yu fa yaaxu ñu change leen.
And another toilet to renovate the items that were spoiled or broken.
waaw.
Are you a contractor?
Nanda your contractor?
Wow.
Yes.
Do you have any, before that, do you have a business that's registered?
Nena danga register sa business bi.
waaw dañ ko register every year dañ def fay.
Yes, I do register, and every year I do pay
renew
tax.
sa renew.
Waxal ci kaw bro xolal.
dañ dee fay every year dañ ko dee renew.
Fan la nga xol man ngay déglu ngay wax.
okay waaw baax na okay.
Yes, every year I registered, and every year I do pay and I renew the registration.
When was your first registration?
Nena ban at nga njëkk register?
lii yàgg na de lii company suma papa la woon.
This is a long time company. It was from I inherited it from my father. It's my father's company.
So you don't know when it was first registered?
Nena kon xamuloo kañ lañ ko register.
no.
No.
When did you take over the company?
Nena yow kañ nga jël company bi?
sometime in 2017 I think.
2017.
waaw.
Did you register in 2017?
yes I just dama doon toppa process bi
I
rek.
had said you have to wait for the interpretation.
Mu ne lu mu la wax rek nga déglu ko.
okay.
May I have the question again?
Did you register in 2017?
Nena 2017 la da nga register woon?
waaw dañ dee fay lifin dañ dee dem fay fële naka la tuddaati justice.
Yes.
nga renew wait please nga renew registration bi.
Yes,
business
I
registration
do
bi
go
ak
to
GPPA.
justice paid and renew the registration.
ak GPPA tam.
And the GPPA too.
Do you have those registrations?
Nena am nga register
Do
yooyu?
you have the certificates?
right now fii amee ma ko fii de.
No, right now I am not without them.
Please produce the certificates.
Nena da nga lu ñu bëgg mooy pour nga issue ñu certificate yooyu.
waaw su ma demee dinaa ko seet. parce que
Yes.
am nga 2017 loolu tam lu yàgg la. even
If I go back, I will check. As far as 2017 was a long time ago.
even yii nii sax yàgguma koo gis.
Even these ones, I saw them, but not long.
You have 2019 registration?
Then I'm got 2019.
2019 foog ma dem foog su ma ñëwee rek ma seet suma
I don't think unless if I
documents yi
go,
rek foog
I
ma dem
check,
ma xool leen rek.
Write it down.
check properly. Then nga binda pour lu ñu la laaj rek nga binda ko pour nga bañ a fàtte.
okay.
What is your business name?
Then sa business bi nu mu tudd?
Basen Enterprise.
Basse?
Basen Enterprise.
Bassen Enterprise.
What does Person Enterprise do?
Nee na Bassen Enterprise lan la ñoo def? La wala lan lañ dee def?
dañ dee sampa.
We do construct.
You have an office?
Nee na am nga office?
no right now awma office.
No, right now I don't have an office.
You have employees that you
Yeah.
employ?
Am nga ñu nga xam ne dañ leen
Waaw.
jël liggéeykaay?
waaw.
Yes.
Are they fixed time, on a fixed time employment?
Nee na ñooñu dañ leen jël ñooñu si saroon rek lañ nekk di liggéey wala dang leen dee jël di leen di ici wala ñoom dañ nekk fixe yow fixed employment.
waaw ñii ñoo doon liggéey ak suma papa the same team bu doon liggéey ak suma papa ñoom laa nekk di liggéeyal.
These are the teams who were working with my father, and I continued working with the same team.
So when you have them, you just call them to come and work. When you have a contract, just call them to come and work.
Nee na kon dafa mel ni soo demee bi am liggéey mooy contract nga dal di leen di oo pour ñu ñëw ñu door liggéey bi.
noonu la demee.
Exactly. that
But
is-
they don't really work for you.
nee na waaye nekkut ne ñoom dañoo nekk foofu definitely ñoom si yow la ñoo liggéey.
non xam nga ñoom duñ mun a toog soo amut liggéey duñ mun a toog.
No,
foog
you
ñu
know
dem
that-
wut liggéey.
They cannot stay without work unless if I have a contract or a work, then they can come and go ahead with it.
Exactly. So you do not have a certificate or a qualification in construction.
Nena wa yaw sa bopa amulo certificate wala amulo ham wala qualification si construction.
No, but almost certificate. Why I'm not experienced? Parce que yaga na liggéey ak suma papa.
Yes, I do have the experience, although I don't have the certificate because I was working with my father for a long time.
And so what is your expertise? What is your expertise in construction?
Nena yaw lan nga ham wala lan moy sa expertise si construction bi moy sampa.
Liggéey bi num dé démé.
I know the way.
Nekk di démé rek.
I know the way it works.
That's very general. So
Nena lolu mom dafa ubi, dafa general.
Liggéey dafa doore from foundation ba ci kaw.
As the work start from the foundation upwards.
Yep, suma fa démé taxaw tam xamna luy xew.
And if I am there, if I stand there, I know how it works.
so you supervise these works.
Nena kon liggéey bi dang ko dé supervise.
Yes.
Very well, yes.
Now, how are you paid this money?
Nena xaalis bi nga xamné dañ la ko fayon naka lañ la ko fayon.
Ñu ngi ma ko doon fay through installment.
I was paid through installment.
3 quarters, I think. 2 or 3 quarters.
2 or 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Is it through bank payment?
Nena
Yeah.
da dañ ko def ci bank.
Through bank la.
Yes, through bank.
Is that a business account or your individual account?
Nena lolu sa business account la nda yow sa bopa sa business account sa account la.
No, bo business account la won.
Business account.
Suma mu juumut.
If I am not mistaken.
We will need you to provide us with the account details, your statement of account.
Nena nañ buga pour nga isi ñu wala nga daldi dem aussi sa statement of account.
Moy 2017.
2017.
You were given this contract in 2019?
Okay,
Nena
sorry.
2019 lañ la joxon contract.
Wow, yeah. 2019.
Yes, 2019.
Yeah.
Did you sign a contract?
Nena da nga sign on contract.
Wow.
Yes.
Sign on na contract ak ñom.
I did sign a contract myself between myself and them.
Where is the copy of the contract?
Nena ana contract bi.
Bena ngi ni de.
I have one here.
May I please see it?
Nena mba mën nañ ko gis.
Where is the other one?
Nena ana benen bi.
No. Bii rek laa gis te bii sax yàgguma ko gis ma ñëwoon meet investigation team bi dama leen waxoon ne su ma demee dinaa seet parce que dafa yàgga te dama dee move dama dee move dëkk fii.
This is the only one I came
Wow,
across.
so
Because when
Madele-
I came here to
Okay.
the investigators, I told them that when I go back, I will make a search. But fortunately, this is the one I got because due to the fact that it was a long time and I don't station in one place.
We applied to tender the contract agreement for the rehabilitation of the 2 toilets, blocks and replacement of worn-out plumbing materials at the Crab Island School in the city of Banjul. Between the Banjul City Council, called employee, and Basin Enterprise, referred to as the contractor, to be admitted into evidence and signed as exhibit.
The contract agreement for the rehabilitation of 2 toilet blocks and replacement of worn-out plumbing materials at Crab Island School in the city of Banjul. The agreement is dated the 28th day of May 2019. It is between the Banjul City Council, herein called the employer, and Basen Enterprises, herein called the contractor. This agreement is admitted in evidence as an exhibit, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/BS/002.
As the Commission praises. Now, Silva, how were you informed or contacted about this contract?
Nena legi lum lay laajte mooy contract boobu nga xam ne dem nga ba am ko si loxo BCC naka nga ko yégee wala naka nga xamee ne contract am na contract bu xew.
Okay, man dama toogoon benn time ma receive telephone call.
Yes, it happens. One day I was sitting and I received a telephone call.
Si ku ñëw wax Teacher Job.
And a man called Teacher Job.
Job, yeah.
Do you know his full name?
Then I'm going to
Did it?
No.
Parce que kooku boobu first time sax ma waxa moom oo gis ko.
This is my first time, or this was my first time to see him or even talk to him.
Wow, then
How is that possible?
Nena lolu naka la mo nekké?
Naka la lan?
How nena naka la lolu wara naka la lolu di am?
Who gave him your number?
Nena kan mo la jox number am?
Who gave him your number?
Sa number kan mo ko jox?
Waaw, bu ma koolee.
When he called me,
moom laa bëgg a explain nii.
that is just what I wanted to explain.
Bu ma koolee.
When he called me,
fekk maa ngi just dugga si Banjul.
while I was in Banjul,
and mu call ma ne man la Teacher Job ma ne ko ban Teacher Job.
he said to me that I am Teacher Job. I then asked him, who is Teacher Job?
Mu ne ma BCC.
He said to me, at BCC.
ma ne ko luy problème lan luy xew.
I then asked him, what happened?
Mu ne ma dañ bëggoon nga ñëw fii.
He then said to me, we want you to come here.
ma ne ko lu xew xana.
I still asked him, what happened?
mu ne ma waa dafa am liggéey bu ñu la bëgg a woon.
Then he said to me, we have a job or a work that we want to show you.
ma ne ko baax na am na lu ma def su ma paree maa ngi ñëw.
I said to him, okay, I'm doing something, but after that, I am coming.
then ma xaw a yàgga mu koolaat ma.
Then it have time, he called me again.
ma ne ko ba tey su ma paree lu ma def maa ngi ñëw.
The same thing I tell him, whenever I'm ready of what I'm doing, then I'll come.
bu ma paree li ma def den si laa fa dem.
When I was ready, this was the time I went there.
ma eega foofu ma koolaat the same number.
When I get there, I just called the same number.
mu receive ma ne ko maa ngi nii si seen place fii.
And it happened, he received, I then told him where I was at the time.
then after si la génn si.
Then he came out.
bu mu génn see mu ñëw ak keneen ku ñëw wax Jones.
When he came, he was accompanied with one Jones.
waaw kooku tam xawma full name am parce que.
But I don't even know to his full name.
waaw ñoom xawma leen.
Because I don't know them.
Jones moom xamee naa ko waaye xawma ko woon dafa laa liggéey.
But Jones, I knew him, but I don't even know where does he work.
then after gars yi na ma dañoo ànd ak Crab Island dafa am liggéey bu ñu la faa woon.
Then there they said, we want you to accompany us to Crab Island because we have a work that we want to show you therein.
then bu ñu àggee foofu man maa leen drive ak sax suma moto.
I then drove them with my vehicle upon our arrival therein.
then bu ñu demee ba foofu gars yi wóor woon ma liggéey bi everything.
Upon our arrival, I was shown all the work and everything.
ma ne leen ndax ana amu leen side plan wala document.
I
pour
then
job bi.
asked them whether they don't have a side plan that's a document.
ñu ne ma non.
They said no to that.
liggéey bu ñu yàkkamti la.
They said this work we need it in a hurry. We are in a hurry.
xaalis bi yëpp a ngi tegu.
All the monies are put therein.
so dañ laa woon liggéey bi yow soo paree soo demee tam dañ fay indi yeneen compagnie tamit ñu woon leen liggéey bi.
We want to show you the work, but from there, when you go, we will bring another company and show them the work.
then from there ñu seet then ma wàccee leen waat BCC.
Then from there, I drove them back to the BCC.
then buñ ma leen drove back BCC.
From there, when I dropped them there,
ma call team bi nga xam ne ñoom laa dee liggéeyal ñu ma yàgga liggéeyal.
there I called my team, of which I used to work with.
fekk ñoom ñu ngi am si beneen liggéey bu ñu nekkoon waaye ñu ne suñu wàccee ngoon.
It happens they were doing another job, but I was promised that whenever they close in the evening,
dina ñëw boori 5 mooy suma foreman bi.
that is my foreman. He said to me that he will come.
then bu mu ñëwee ñu ànd ak Crab Island boori after 5.
Upon his arrival, this was after 5, then I accompanied him to Crab Island.
then ñu seet liggéey bi everything.
We inspected the work, everything.
am na keneen ki nga xam ne nag moom moo nekk suma gannaaw
But somebody was behind me.
moo xam ne moom suma liggéey yëpp
Not somebody was behind me.
non am na koo xam ne moom dafa xam na liggéey bi trop
Okay, I have somebody who knew the work very well.
mooy DPS Koli
That's DPS Koli.
Ibrahima Koli bi nga xam ne suma
Namely
liggéey
Ibrahima
moo ko
Koli.
dee xool waaw moo ko dee xool
Well, he's the one who used to supervise all the work.
moom waaw moom ma oo ko kool ko wax ko si éleksi
Then I called him the following day.
si éleksi ñu ànd fa
We all went there.
buñ fa àndee ak téblante ak yooyu ñu meeso after si la ma advice
When we went there, we did measure, and from there he advised me
waaw ne ma ñii dañ waroon a am side plan ak yooyu mel ne
That
ko waaw
this-
laajte naa leen ko
people should have a side plan, and I said to him that yes, I even asked them
Wow.
about it,
waaw mel ne ko waaye ñoom ñu ne amuñ
but they said they don't have.
so léegi dama ñu ne naa dama war a defar suma bit
Now I was told to prepare my bid,
ba pare yóbbuwaale suma GPPA registration bi ak suma business registration bi
and I go along with my GPPA registration and that of my business registration.
so léegi mel ne ko li moom mu toppatoo bit bi bit
Then
bi
I
bi
asked
mooy
him
di
to-
bill of quantity bi
To prepare the bill of quantity,
léegi mu am days
and it have some days.
ñoom ñu koolaat ma
They again called me.
su ma juumutee ida teacher Jóob la waat
If I don't forget, I think it's the same teacher job.
ne lii dafa am time because du yow kenn rek am na yeneen companies yu ñu invite tamit ñu
And
ñëw seet liggéey bi
He said, but now it takes time, and I said to you that you are not the only person, because we have told another company to come and inspect your work.
man tam beneen leen liggéey du dee demee noonu foog nga prépare sa bopp bu baax
I then said to them, the work done goes like that. You need to prepare yourself better.
ma ne leen kañ mooy deadline bi
I then asked them, when shall be the deadline?
gars yi wax ma
They told me.
ma prépare tam li ñu war a prépare yëpp
I prepare all I need to prepare.
ma dem ma jox leen ko
I went and I handed it over to them.
And what is that?
mooy
Loolu mooy lan?
mooy suma bill of quantity bi
That is the bill of quantity.
What else?
ak suma
lan?
business registration
My
bi
registration, business registration
ak GPPA
and the
certificate.
GPPA registration.
Do you have the copy of the bill of quantity here?
Then I'm going to bill of quantity fee.
non non non
No, no, no.
moo dama leen ko jox
I gave it to them.
léegi
Now,
den bu ma leen ko joxee
when I gave it to them,
ma dem gars yi bu ma demee
when I left,
gars yi dañoo yeneen compagnie si tamit submit nañ so
I was told that the other companies have submitted to their.
so léegi ñu wax ma bés boo xam ne boobu moo nekk tender opening bi mooy bid opening daal
Then I was told the date that going to be the bid opening.
si laa leen laajte ne leen ndax ñun dañ ko war a attend parce que normalement dañ ko war a attend
Then I then asked them whether we should or we supposed to attend, because normally we need to attend.
ñoom ñu ne ma déedéet ñoom i neen la ñoom suñ ci paree kur win rek dinañ la call
Then they said to me, no, this should be done by ourselves. When it is ready, whoever is lucky or win, we will be called.
then after ma ne no problem
I said to them that that's all right.
then ma toog that very day around 2
That very day, around 2,
mooy bu gaay wax ne mooy seen opening bi
when that was the time I was told that it is their opening time.
si laa receive call
I then received a call
from ñoom
from them.
Who?
no from ñoom but right now
Then I saw ñoom kan la,
moom laa mënuma laa wax kii la because duma fen
and all I can say is that from them, but I can't say
Wow.
exactly who was it.
waaw waaye
So I
xam
say
naa ne
that means I cannot say the truth.
receive naa call ñu ne ma yow buñ defee evaluation si yow you are the most responsive yow yaa win affaire
And
bi
from there, I was informed through the telephone that all what they did, I was the lucky person to win.
so ñu ne ma ndax di nga mën a ñëw council léegi nii
Then I was asked whether I could be able to go to council right now.
ne leen dama sori maa ngi si suma benn liggéey fii
I said to them that I am a little bit far because I'm doing some work here.
ñu ne ma ba trial nga ñëw balaa 4
Then I was told to try and go there before 4 o'clock,
ma ne leen dinaa try
of which I answered in a positive.
then bu ma demee
Upon my arrival,
si laa mit Katim
I met one Katim.
Who is Katim?
Then I saw a
Katim Touré
Katim Toure.
foog naa mooy woon seen engineer bi by that time
I think he was their engineer at the time.
Do you know Katim before this?
Nena,
Ndax?
xam nga Katim
Did you know Katim before?
bala lolum ndax xam nga ko won bala kero.
amuñ benn relationship waaye xam naa ko ne BCC la nekk because ñoom dañ daan liggéey ak suma papa.
Yes, I knew him, but I have no other relationship with him because I know that he's working at B.C.C. because he was working with my father.
Is it Katim that gave them your number?
And now Katim Ole just a number.
Mulul la suspect.
That is my suspect.
Or deputy mayor jox leen seen suma number parce que deputy mayor bi by then deputy mayor bu ko xamante nañ bu baax.
Maybe the deputy mayor because before that I knew him very well. Or we knew one another very well.
What's the name?
Mohammed
Nena ko name to that?
Omar Touré.
Omar Touré.
Proceed.
Moom xamante nañ bu baax.
We know each other very well.
Bu ma fa demee ñoom laa fa fekk Katim.
I went there, that's the people I found there, Katim.
Teacher Job. Deputy mayor.
Deputy mayor.
Suma juumutee CEO bi Bacili.
And if I am not mistaken, the CEO, Bachiri.
Waaye bu ma fa demee.
But when I went there,
ku ma ci waxal only mooy woon Katim.
it was only Katim that I spoke to.
Moo ma ne ma yoo leen jox liggéey bi.
He's the one who informed me that the work have been given to me.
Si la ma indil that document boobu si la sign beneen witness sign.
And that was the time he brought this document of which I signed and the other witness signed.
Did you pay withholding tax?
Then anda fay nga lu ñuy wax holding tax.
Nga fay na holding tax. No, boobu tam mënuma fàttaliku loolu.
I cannot remember.
Are you the one who charged this amount or they told you that this is the contract?
Nena amount bi wala njëg bi yaa la wax njëg bi wala ñoo la wax lan lañ la war a fay.
No, ñoom ñoo ma wax.
They told me.
Ñoo ma wax amount bi.
They told me the price.
Did this fit into your what you sent them?
No, ñoom liñ ma wax ëpp na lii de.
No,
liñ ma waxoon
what-
figo bi fu ma fàttaliku 100% waaye romb na figo bi.
No, what they told me that they are going to pay me is more than what I have proposed.
Waaw liñ ma waxoon ne seen budget lii la.
When they told me about the budget,
buñ fa demee.
when I went there,
liñ ma waxoon ne seen budget lii la.
and what they told me about their budget
romb na lii.
is more than that.
Man buñ defee suñ bill of quantity.
When I did my bill of quantity,
waaw ñun ñu ñëw ak figo bi.
we came with this figure.
Waaw.
Yes.
And all this time you had no side plan?
Then
No,
jamano bobu yep amulo side plan.
Déedéet.
No.
And when you had this contract,
Then I think I'm on contract bobu.
it was executed?
Then anda liggéey nga ko won, doxal nga ko won,
ba mu jeex.
all up to completion.
What do you know what they wanted you to do?
Then naka nga xamé won lan lañ bëgga pour yow nga def? Noko yegon
liggéey bi.
about the work?
bu ma demee dañ ma woon luñ bugga.
When I went there, I was shown all what they wanted.
Verbally?
Then
verbally?
Yes, verbally.
All right. So you said you took part in a bid.
Then jël nga
The
part
bidding
si bid,
process.
si bid process bi.
ah
Then bokka nga si bid process bi.
bu gaay di open di ko open.
When they were opening,
You know, not the opening. You send your bid
then dang fa yónnoon sa bid bi.
document.
Bill of
bill of quantity bi.
That's all you sent.
then loolu rek nga yónnoon foofu.
yeah.
Yes.
Have you taken part in any bid process before?
Then bid process bi na fekk nga ko woon mu affaire tender bi la moo laajte.
non moom laajtewul laajaat ko lan la laajte.
Well, can I be clear? May I be clear?
Yes.
It's time.
Thank you, Chairperson.
We may rise.
Very well.